you'd like to move the next speaker. So I'd like to invite the Dr. Teo from the USM. If so, you are ready. So please start your presentation. You can share that your presentation file. Can you do this? Okay, excellent.
Yes, it's clear now.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening. I'm Teo Chelvi Pulingam, and I'll be presenting on the effects of oil palm trunk fibers on plant growth and soil microbial community. In Malaysia, oil palm cultivation is the largest primary industry with approximately 5.9 million hectares of plantation area just in 2019. Usually, oil palm fruit is harvested after 3 years until the harvest yield declines at around 25 years. Therefore, oil palms need to be replanted every 25 to 30 years to maintain the oil productivity. Currently, the most widely used technique to clear fields is the bush felling and shredding method using heavy equipment or machineries. The OPT is then shredded into smaller chips and returned to the plantation field. The decomposition of OPT takes usually more than 2 years. However, OPT's decomposition causes the occurrence of pests such as beetles and may become the source of basal stem rot disease, commonly caused by Ganoderma boninens. Additionally, OPT could also cause nitrogen deficiency due to the high carbon to nitrogen ratio in the OPT fiber. Commonly known of the optimal amount of carbon to nitrogen ratio for agricultural purposes is around 25 to 35%. However, the ratio is higher in the OPT fiber at around 67%. The common practice is now to apply oil palm residues to the oil palm plantation, and this may reduce the use of chemical-based fertilizers as the sole nutrient input. However, unregulated disposal of OPT could result in detrimental effects of soil functioning and plant growth. Therefore, the objective of our work is to understand the effects of OPT fiber on plant growth and also the soil environment. This study have compared corn plant growth and nutrient availability in soil mixed with OPT fiber and other comparable soil amendments. OPT fiber is a lignocellulosic biomass, and it is mainly comprised of cellulose at 32 to 45%, hemicellulose at 20 to 32%, and lignin at 17 to 32%. In this work, we have used and compared the effects of OPT fiber and other comparable soil amendments such as sugarcane bagasse and also cellulose powder for the growth evaluation of corn seedlings. For this work, pot assay was carried out by applying 4 types of treatments where we added soil and OPT, soil and sugarcane bagasse, and soil and cellulose powder at 5% each. And lastly is the unamended soil. The treatments were set and arranged using completely randomized design. For the plant analysis, plant height, leaf relative chlorophyll content, and biomass weight were recorded to evaluate plants' response to the 4 test treatments. The experiment were carried out for 55 days after sowing. Then the dry weight of the biomass, including the stem and the leaf, was determined. Additionally, metagenomics analysis was carried out by extracting 500 milligrams of soil from each treatment type with replicates. We targeted to amplify the hypervariable region of V3 to V4 of bacterial 16S rRNA for bacterial identification, and for fungal identification, internal transcript spacer or ITS1 of fungal rRNA gene was amplified. Moving on to the results and discussion part, the effects of cellulosic amendments on plant growth after 25 days of sowing showed no significant changes in plant height or chlorophyll content among the 4 types of treatments. This indicated low nitrogen uptake by the corn in the early to middle growth phase. However, after 25 days, due to the increasing nitrogen uptake by the corn plants, the growth rate of the corn decreased and low chlorophyll content was observed for the OPT fiber treatment. You can see here the yellow boxes represents the OPT fiber. For both this graph, you can see that the yellow is at the bottom of the graph compared to unamended soil or the sugarcane bagasse or the cellulose powder. Low chlorophyll content was consistent with the symptoms of nutritional disorders such as yellowish leaves and stunting of plant height. In comparison to sugarcane bagasse and cellulose treatments, OPT fiber treatment caused the highest reduction in height and chlorophyll content among the 4 types of treatment. Additionally, 16% of reduction in dry weight of biomass was also noted compared to the control. This phenomenon was mainly observed due to the reduced nitrogen supply, which resulted in low photosynthetic efficiency. It is commonly known that crop residues with high carbon to nitrogen ratio can induce soil nitrogen immobilization by microorganisms, and this can even increase short-term demand for nitrogen-based fertilizers. Therefore, the application of OPT have caused slow decomposition rate and did not promote any gradual increase in soil nitrogen content, but caused nitrogen depletion and directly affected the plant growth. Table 1 shows the plant analysis results of corn growth between unamended soil and soil treated with OPT fiber. The major difference between these 2 types of treatments was observed for the total nitrogen content mainly, where the unamended soil had 1.995% of total nitrogen, whereas the soil treated with OPT fiber had only 0.727% of total nitrogen. Besides this, the most obvious one is the plant magnesium content, which was also low for the soil treated with OPT fiber, where it only recorded about 0.168% compared to the unamended soil, where the value was 0.254%. So inorganic nitrogen is predominantly ammonium and nitrate nitrogen and is usually taken up by the plants for growth. Similarly, magnesium is also one of the core nutrients for plant chlorophyll biosynthesis and carbon fixation. Due to the low content of these elements, OPT fiber resulted in low bioavailability or consumption of available nitrogen and magnesium. Therefore, unregulated disposal of OPT fiber into plantation areas could result in nutrient loss. Bacterial community structure of soils treated with OPT fiber, sugarcane bagasse, and cellulose powder were identified through metagenomics analysis. Principal coordinate analysis is usually used to analyze the trajectories of beta diversity in bacterial isolates. This technique here revealed that sugarcane bagasse, which is the B, and also C stands for the cellulose powder, were separately clustered compared to the OPT and also the unamended soil. Each were separately clustered according to this principal coordinate analysis. Heat map analysis visualizing the bacterial community present in each treatment also confirmed that principal coordinate analysis results that bacterial communities were among the 4 treatments were completely separated. You can see here the cellulose and sugarcane bagasse is at around the same area, whereas the OPT fiber is more diverse. And also for the normal soil, the type of bacterial isolates that are present in the normal soil is also completely different from the rest of the treatment. Soil microbiomes of sugarcane bagasse and cellulose treatments showed similar composition, but the soil microbiome of soil treated with OPT was clearly different. Soil microflora and soil nutrient cycles are affected by soil organic matter decomposition by rhizosphere microorganisms and therefore developed differently with different composition of soil organic matter composition. Also, the cellulose content in the soil organic matter might directly influence the decomposition and the soil microflora that is present in the soil. Fungal community structures of treated and untreated soil were equally identified through metagenomics analysis. We found 2 major fungal genera, that is Trichoderma spp and Trichocladium spp, and both these species are categorized under Ascomycota. For soil treated with OPT fiber, 98.9% of fungal species identified was Trichocladium, whereas Trichoderma were present at 42% for sugarcane bagasse, 8.1% for the cellulose powder. And also this Trichocladium were present around 70% in the unamended soil. OPT fiber also showed drastically higher abundance of DNA sequence and also the ratio and amounts of Trichocladium in soil treated with OPT fiber was substantially increased compared to sugarcane bagasse control or the cellulose treatment soil. Fungi belonging to the Ascomycota were present in high concentration, could be due to their superior ability to degrade cellulose. So based on our results, high carbon to nitrogen ratio of OPT fiber have promoted the growth of lignocellulolitic bacteria and fungi of different diversity. Additionally, OPT fiber also contains free sugar, and these have promoted the growth of fungi and bacteria when left in the plantation. So rapid growth of bacteria and fungi could result in nitrogen deprivation to the plant, at least in the short-term basis. Although the effects of OPT fiber or residue on long-term growth of plants such as oil palm and the late-stage decomposition of OPT have not been confirmed in our study, growth of short-cycle plants such as corn and also the early-stage decomposition of OPT residue, we have shown here that it is affecting the plant growth, chlorophyll content, also the biomass, which may have resulted in the nitrogen deficiency observed on the corn plant in our study. Therefore, the OPT fiber may not be sufficient for nutrient cycling in the oil palm plantations. In conclusion, the application of OPT fiber residue caused nutrient deficiency in terms of plant height, low chlorophyll content, and also reduced biomass. The rich abundance of microbes derived from OPT fiber was associated with nitrogen deprivation to the plant. Therefore, OPT fiber residue of early stage decomposition cannot replace organic nutrients. And also, reusing of OPT such as pellets or particle board fiber may be necessary. This work was conducted as a part of a development project funded by the Science and Technology Research Partnership for Sustainable Development, in short SATREPS, of the Japan Science and Technology Agency, JST, and Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. These are some of the references that I've used to cite in my presentation today. Thank you.